Good morning. It's so good to see you. And there's snow on the ground. Isn't that cool? Did you guys wake up to snow? Did you wake up to snow? We have like this tiny little bit, but it's still out there. And when I let the dogs out earlier, it was still snowing. Anyway, today we're going to talk about gratitude and why it's an important practice. Also, it's my birthday on Saturday. So I hadn't had a cup of coffee yesterday when I posted and made it sound like today was my birthday, but it's not. It's not. I'm just celebrating today because Saturday is my birthday. So, and also today is the day my husband's taking me out for my birthday today because he's going to the Timbers game. On Saturday. I don't know. Somewhere. I think that's not okay, but whatever. Okay, so if you are here with me live, say hi and please join the conversation. And if you're watching the replay, let me know. It's always nice to know that you've been here. If you want notes, not my birthday, but if you want notes about gratitude and and gratitude practice and everything gratitude, then just write notes so that I know, and I'll send them to you when they get published, which is usually next week sometime. Okay, so what is gratitude? And what isn't gratitude? So according to the dictionary, gratitude is the quality or feeling of being grateful or thankful. It's not just because good things happen or, you got a check or I don't know. It's not just because good things happen. It's acknowledging all and any parts of your life that you're thankful for. It's a creation. You create it out of nothing. It's right. So people say that about happiness too, right? You wake up into being happy. You decide you're going to be happy. Gratitude is a little bit like that. You create your gratitude. And what I love about gratitude is it's not a thing, it's a feeling. It's how you feel. It's how you approach your day. We'll talk more about that in a second. It's a point, being grateful is a point of view. It's walking through your life with this point of view of feeling thankful for everything that's happening, or even just some of the things that are happening, because for sure, sometimes, things happen and being grateful is not the right response. Let's just be honest, right? Like, it's not always about being grateful. But when you walk through life with a perspective and a decision to feel thankful for the things that are going your way, to feel thankful for feeling, I don't know. Okay, this is where like the wooey weirdo shit about me comes out, okay? Feeling thankful for feeling like the grass beneath your feet, feeling grateful and thankful for, that smell before it rains. Oh my God, for that. Being happy that the sun is shining so I can go sit on the porch, right? Like nothing big, being grateful that my puppy wants to cuddle with me. Even in the midst of like a day like yesterday when I had this thing happen yesterday. I had this really weird pain right under my right boob. If you all know me in person, I have really big boobs. Anyway, so I had this pain and it was so sharp and it had been happening for a little bit that I decided to go to the emergency room, and I'm fine. They did an EKG and I knew it was a heart attack, and they took an x-ray. I thought maybe I had fractured a rib, but it wasn't that. I have this, the word, I don't know what the word is about what I have, but I have this thing that is with my cartilage. And so it makes it really, really painful. So any movement I made yesterday was accompanied with like this really sharp pain, like in this one spot. So was I grateful for the pain? Fuck no. But was I grateful for the fact that the doctor the urgent care was so nice, and the people treated me so well, and I got in and out really fast. And yeah, so there were things about it that I was grateful for or felt thankful for, but the whole experience, yeah, I could have done without the experience. So another way I often talk about gratitude is the same way that I just talked about so many situations that we find ourselves in, and that we react in a certain way, is that it's an interpretation of things that happen around you. I often talk to my clients about, that conversation that people have when a crime happens and there's 10 eyewitnesses, but when somebody goes out to find out what happened from each of the person and get their view or their statement of what happened, you have 10 separate stories, right? And that's not because what happened didn't happen, or that one person was right and the other person was wrong. It's really interesting, right? Instead, it's because it's an interpretation. Every single person has their own interpretation of what they experienced. And gratitude is an interpretation. It's always a choice to interpret things from a place of gratitude, from being thankful. Okay, so how do you express gratitude? Because I feel like, there's gratitude for what's happening in your life, which is not about expressing to others, but then there's a way of expressing gratitude to others, because oftentimes we are grateful for somebody or something that somebody did for us, right? So there's the love languages. So we know, if you don't know those, I'm just gonna say what they are. So there's words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, giving gifts, acts of service, touch. Those are all different ways that people express their love. And so when you express love or gratitude to them from the love language that they prefer, then they feel really seen, heard, and of course loved, right? So that's a really good way to express your gratitude and thankfulness to people around you. But how do you express gratitude to yourself, right? Like grateful for how you might have reacted to something, or that you took, the high road when you were frustrated, or that you just made it through the day. How do you express gratitude to yourself? So I believe that any kind of self-care is a form of gratitude. I think it's really important to remember to thank ourselves for any little piece of each day that we do that makes our lives better or has us live up to what we said we would do, or any standards, right? You want to take care of yourself. I take care of myself. Try to remember. It's not easy. So sometimes gratitude is not easy. Sometimes feeling grateful is really hard. And it really is about choosing the high road, right? But I do try to give myself grace, which is another form of gratitude, and remember to consciously thank myself for being here or for doing whatever that day. Gratitude is a gift. It's a gift that you can give to others, but it's also a gift that you receive. So one of the things that comes up actually quite often, okay, maybe not that often, pretty often, is this idea of receiving, or like somebody wants to give you something, or somebody says a compliment, or somebody says something nice to you, and our reaction is, yes, but, thank you, but, which negates the gift that they're giving you, which of gratitude or compliment or whatever, right? So I always try to remind people that receiving is as much as a gift as giving is a gift. So when somebody gives you something and you have more to say than just thank you, or it's a conditional thank you, then you've cut them off from giving. But when you can just honestly just be grateful and nothing else, then you've allowed them the pleasure to give to you. Like, remember that. Remember that when people offer help, you being willing to receive it is a gift to them. It's kind of putting things a little bit on their butt, right? Okay, so let's talk about gratitude practice. And God, I've got something in my eye. It's so annoying. This is why I don't really often put on makeup, because, oh my God, it's such a pain in the butt. Okay, so gratitude practice. Why would you even have one? Well, this is also a little woo, right? There's something about having a practice around gratitude that impacts your reticular activating system in your brain. So this is going to get a little bit complicated. This is a bigger conversation that I usually have with my clients about how your brain works. But let's just put the easy way is the reticular activating system, or the RAS. Its job is to allow any kind of stimulation or information in from the outside world to be processed by your brain. And its job is to be the filter so that you aren't bombarded with every single thing that is happening out there in the world all at the same time, because that leaves us totally incapacitated. It's too much information. And so how the RAS, how your reticular activating system judges whether or not something should be allowed in, is first of course, if it has to do with any danger to you, or food, shelter, clothing, those kinds of things, right? Fear, that's going to come right in. But otherwise, what it does is it plays matchy-matchy with beliefs and ways of interpreting the world that are in your unconscious, that are built around you. So its job is to play matchy-matchy. And if it finds things that are already, that it can match up to thoughts or feelings or beliefs that you hold in your operating system, then it allows that evidence to come in. So when you live inside a gratitude practice, pretty much what you're doing is you're looking out in the world consciously and picking out things or times or situations every single day that impacted you in a good way. And because you're conscious about it, your reticular activating system says, I'm going to be looking for those, because that's at the forefront of the mind, of her mind. So every time you express your gratitude and pick specific things out that you're grateful for. So specificity is important. So pick specific things out that you're grateful for. Your reticular activating system is not only letting more of that through, but actively looking for situations that would match up with the things that you're already grateful for. That was a lot, right? I hope that did you understand that? If you're watching this and you understood that, can you just say, yes, that was clear? That would be great. Okay. So for me, that's why I have a gratitude practice. Aside from the fact that it also, honestly, I can be having the worst day. And as soon as I start focusing on being grateful, my entire day flips around. Like yesterday when I found myself at urgent care, right? Okay. So, you know how I hate journaling. So while I might say to you, oh yeah, write it all down, I'm going to be honest and tell you that I don't write it all down. Okay. So pretty much what I do is I will consciously think it, or if I do have my journal out, which, is always a fight for me, I will actually write them down. And these are the 3 areas in which I look for things that I'm grateful for every time I do this. Okay. So I look around me for the things that I'm, the people that I'm grateful for. So who in my life specifically am I grateful for, and what am I grateful? Why? What is it specifically about them that I'm grateful for? Does that make sense? Like, did they do something? Am I just grateful that they're in my life, or like, what am I grateful for about them? Then I look just in my life in general, like the ether, not anybody in particular, but things in my life that I'm grateful for. Like this, like I was saying, that yesterday was gorgeous and sunny, even though it was freezing cold, right? I was really happy for the sun. It's amazing what vitamin D does for you. So things like that, or that it's so nice that my furnace actually clicked on this morning, because that is not an everyday occurrence. Sometimes we fight with the furnace. That's fun. And then the third thing is, what am I grateful about me? What have I done, or how have I behaved, or how have I reacted in the last 24 hours that I'm really grateful for, that I chose that path? Okay, so 3 things in my gratitude practice: for others, for my life, and about me. Okay, and I try to do this daily, and I, like everybody else, just like you, I'm not always disciplined enough to do it on an everyday basis. Okay, so often we create a practice. So here's the thing to remember. Often we create a practice from a place of how the practice itself is going to do something for us, like it's a tactic. Okay, it's going to bring us things like more money, or people say that if you're grateful, then you get showered with good things. So let me just be really clear here. Gratitude as a tactic does nothing, because gratitude is about being, not doing, and tactics are about doing. Does that make sense? So if you're doing a gratitude practice just because you want something in return, that is not gratitude. Gratitude is an emotion, so it's about feeling thankful, right? It's about feeling and in the moment feeling thankful, and gratitude is a state of being. So you can't do yourself into being grateful. God, this is a weird esoteric conversation. Okay, cool. So what am I grateful for today? It's my birthday, almost. So Saturday is my birthday, and I'm actually feeling a really deep sense of gratitude for reaching 62. Like, I actually never thought I was going to reach 60. So here we are, I'm 62, and it seems like I'm going strong. For knowing that in a week's time, I'm going to get to see one of my closest friends who lives in Canada. And the last time I saw her was on my 60th birthday, right before the pandemic started. So I'm so excited about that. We're going to be sitting in the sun and hanging out together for a week. So that's great. I'm grateful for having kids that like me and love me. I'm grateful for all the laughter we have in my family. I'm grateful for the pleasure that my work gives me. So yes, I love my clients and I'm totally grateful for them. And what I'm really grateful for is the honor that they bestow on me for being trusted, for inviting me, and for paying me to support them, to have a life that turns them on. I am so grateful to be witness to other people's breakthroughs. There's something about that is just so life-giving. And I'm so grateful that in the end, after the work that we do together, really most of the time, we're friends, and not just friends, like really good friends. Most of my really, really good friends have been my clients at one point or another. I am so grateful to you for taking the time to watch this, to read my musings if you do, to support me by being here with me. Thank you so much for being here for me. I really appreciate it. And I'm really grateful to me for not letting discomfort, pain, frustration get me down. Like, yeah, it can hurt. And yes, I can complain about that. But really, it's a momentary thing, and I'm so grateful to myself and my ability that I can count on me to find a different way of being, even when things aren't going so well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. Have a great week. I'll see you next week here at 10 a.m. I haven't figured out what we're going to talk about yet, so I'm not telling you just yet. Um, Again, if you want notes on gratitude or just jump in and say hi. Mwah. Have an amazing weekend. Bye, you guys.